The project is financed by the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Vibes of UMCS. I am your host, Robert Ainebyona, and today I have a very special guest and also a friend. I usually call him the Honorable Andreas Lopera, and he's here with us. He will briefly talk about his country and the city where he comes from before we get right into the discussion that we're having for the day. Mr. Honorable Andreas.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you so much for having me here and for inviting me. Yes, well, my name is Andres. I come from Colombia, more exactly from the city of Shakira.
Yeah.
I come from Barranquilla, and I'm really happy to be here.
Wow. The city where Shakira comes from, so the music and the dance moves run through the whole community?
Through the whole community, through my veins, it's a cultural aspect that we have, so yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me about that. And definitely, I need to visit my playlist and revisit some of the songs that I used to always listening to from by Shakira. So moving into the discussion, this is more about you personally. How has been your experience here in Lublin, and your experience as an international student at UMCS?
Well, I find the experience as international student very enriching for me, not only in the aspect of the academic life, because for sure I have been gaining a lot of knowledge from the university. UMCS is a really good university and really cultural, but also in the aspect of an international student, studying in a foreign country has provided me with a lot of experience that helped me grow in the personal and in my personal area, so I really find this as a really good opportunity to grow, and I really like this experience that I'm having as an international student.
Okay, oh, wonderful. And just a follow-up question to that. When in your class, you said UMCS is a very multicultural place. In your class, how many? Do you know how many international students that are currently with you in the class?
We have a really multicultural class. We have students from, for example, from my side, that is Latin America, from Colombia, that's me. I have also a classmate friend that is from Brazil, and also we have classmates from Lebanon, also other part from Asia, that is Tajikistan, and also other place of Europe, as Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. So I find this like really, really interesting, and like as I said, a really multicultural class.
Yeah, and I think it's really fascinating having all these individuals from different countries. Even how they look at global affairs is also tremendously very different. The perspectives are very diverse.
Yes, very, very, very different in all the aspects, in the political, in the economical, because as Colombia is really near to the United States, the influence of the United States is really big to us.
Yes.
And finding out that we have like students that are from this side of Europe that have more influence from Russia and have this idea of Russia is like really, really interesting for me. And also the points of view from the students from Lebanon is also like really open mind for me.
Okay, wow, wonderful, wonderful. And just as a follow-up to that, coming from Colombia, how did you hear about UMCS?
This is like really, really interesting because my family is been doing, my cousins, my uncles has been doing their master degrees in Europe.
Yes.
And one of my uncles studied in Warsaw.
Yes.
So in my journey of finding a good master to continue my studies, I was looking at Poland as an option, and I asked for an advice from my uncle, and he provided me the idea of the UMCS. I searched and I find out that it's a really good university. All the what the UMCS has done, and I applied, and fortunately, as you said at the beginning of this interview, I applied for the Best Applicant Scholarship,
Yes.
and well, I'm here with you.
Can you say your uncle that gave you the advice is also a great influence in why the choice to study international relations, or that was more of a personal choice from looking at where you wanted to be career-wise?
Yes, well, my uncle influenced a lot in the terms or in the aspects of a good education, a higher education.
Yes.
Yet he's an engineer, so
Yeah.
he doesn't understand really well about this.
Yeah.
But for me, I am really a person that is really interested in the economical and the political aspects, and not only from now. I also did my bachelor degree in international relations, so
Yes.
I have been focused in this aspect of the international area since I have been 17, 18 years. So I have been like influenced by the whole world politics that I really like, and that made me do my bachelor and now my master degree.
Yeah, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for that reply. And I mean, you've talked about your interest, your focus. So what interests you in international relations? Any course units offhand that come to mind that you enjoy studying?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the history. I'm a huge fan of the politics, and in regards of one unit that really I enjoyed in my past year of the master, I will say world politics after 1945
Yes.
with Professor Boyarczyk.
Yes, yes.
It's really I found it really interesting, and also like looking how was the world after this Second World War and the whole system, and also like looking it in another perspective, because I studied in Colombia, but from here and from this professor, it was a really I really enjoy it studying it and giving the classes with him.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Wow. And more adding to this part, in your view, in your opinion, why is knowledge of international relations important?
I find it's really important in the aspect that we are a more globalized civilization. We are more in the past few times we have been more interconnected between us, and all the aspects that happen, for example, in the international politics, will affect your country. And also in the aspects of the economy, and studying the international relations will help you to understand why those situations happen, and what to do in order to like stop somehow if there is no benefit for your country. So I really find interesting and really important for like the citizens to understand the international relations, to understand what the organizations are doing, and what will this affect them or will affect their country or region in some cases. So that's one of the reasons why I really find interesting to study the international relations.
Oh, wow, wonderful, wonderful. And you've said you enjoy studying international relations, and also a moment back you mentioned something about keeping the focus and upgrading from the bachelor's to the master's. So career-wise, do we see an ambassador Andreas in the works, or probably even going on to the PhD program?
Yeah, an ambassador, I really hope. I had my experience in the diplomatic part in Miami, and I really enjoyed that part. And also the PhD section is also like really important for me and for the people that come from my family. So I still not deciding, but I plan for the PhD at the moment.
Okay, all right. Right. Thank you so much for sharing these answers with us and some of your experiences. But these last questions are more directed to you, as Mr. Andreas. What do you miss most about home?
Well, that's a really big question because I will say, of course, my parents. And in terms of something that I would like to have, I really enjoy the Polish food. I really enjoy pierogis. But to be honest, I really miss the Colombian food. I haven't been able to eat like arepas or like this Colombian food for a while, and I don't even like have the opportunity to do it by myself because I tried and it's not like my mother's food. So I really, really, really miss the Colombian food at this moment.
But, have you had the opportunity to learn how to make pierogi? Probably it's when you visit home, it's an opportunity for you to also, you know, like showcase some of the delicacies that you have picked up here in Poland.
Yes, yes, I know how to do it. I know how to. I have seen how the Polish people do it.
Yeah.
But I am not a good cooker. Not like Colombian food, nor Polish food. I can try. Of course, I will like go to my house and like show my mother this is pierogi. I will try to her to enjoy it. But yeah, I really want to eat Colombian food.
Okay. But, just as we wind up, given an opportunity to send a message out to the other scholars or the youth back home in Colombia, what would you tell them about UMCS and about Lublin? You can look just straight into the camera, just because it's more message that is more focused to the people that will watch this from back home when you share it, but also generally the people in Lublin and at UMCS. Yeah.
I will say like to all my Colombian fellows and my parceros from Colombia, Lublin is a really cultural city. It's a really, really beautiful city. The city center, the architecture, the people from Poland is really wonderful with us, with the foreigners, and I really enjoy it. In terms of the university, is one of the best of the country. It's really multicultural, and you will not regret in any case to come here, as I don't. So, yeah.
Yes, and anything regarding UMCS?
Yeah, UMCS, the quality of the academic installations, the quality of also the personnel inside, really wonderful. I really, really, really glad to be part of the university.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. I can't really add anything more on what the Honorable Andreas has said. So for me, that's it. And hopefully in the future, we welcome Honorable Ambassador Andreas to have another session with us here at the Vibes of UMCS. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much, Mr. Andreas, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear.
Same here.